Back live with yet another CNN News 18 mega exclusive. The latest on the Baloch hijack operations around the Jaffar Express hijack by the BLA. The Pakistan Army has gone about with the execution of the rescue without keeping the civil government in loop. That's what we are given to understand. Manoj Gupta getting us these details. No cabinet meeting or apex body meeting has been called during the hijack to show that the civil government is actually working. It was only today, earlier in the day, that Shehbaz Sharif landed there in that region to try and meet some of those who had been rescued. It is unlikely that they have released all army personnel because they were taken away with the suicide brigade to different locations, and there are serious doubts on the completion of this entire operation as claimed by the Pakistani military. Pak security experts don't believe that a Baloch operation is over and the remaining army personnel have been evacuated. Rana Sanaullah, special envoy to PM Shehbaz Sharif, was seen clueless on TV channels during an interview, and there are some pictures of the same. Meanwhile, actually have a look at that.
ऐसे लग रहा है जैसे कोई मामूली सा कोई वाकया हुआ है, कोई मुर्गियों की बड़ी भरी ट्रेन थी जिसको किसी ने उचक लिया है, उसमें 450 इंसान नहीं है। गवर्नमेंट कहां पे है? ये बिजनेस एज नॉर्मल क्यों चल रहा है? इंटीरियर मिनिस्ट्री कहां पे है राणा साहब?
नहीं तो इंटीरियर मिनिस्टर को अगर वहां पे भेज भी दिया जाता तो वो वहां पे जाके क्या करते? वो
मैं देख रहा था प्राइम मिनिस्टर साहब ने वो फलस्तीन पे तो ट्वीट किया हुआ है, बस ठीक है। यहां की मुझे बता दें इस वक्त कोई ऐसी चीज बता दें जहां से आम आदमी को ये हौसला हो बलूचिस्तान में कि कोई अकेले नहीं है, इस्लामाबाद कंसर्न्ड है।
जब से ये वाकया हुआ है वहां पे जिन लोगों ने पहुंचना था वो पहुंचे हुए हैं।
So that's the interior minister saying, and the question being asked is not a single tweet has been put out. There's no update coming in from the civilian government. Why is the Pak Army and the ISPR handling all of it? And is whatever they're putting out, is it largely propaganda? Now, top intelligence sources have told CNN News 18 that by avoiding direct answers, Rana Sanaullah is trying to avoid or admitting shortcomings of the army and the civil administration with respect to coordination between the two. The military has traditionally maintained a high degree of operational autonomy all across in Pakistan, and this is evident here in a crisis situation like the Jaffar Express hijack, where the army has also failed miserably. It's a big embarrassment to them. There's more. The Baloch Liberation Army in a statement has said that Pak ISPR's claim of ending operation at the Bolan region of Balochistan is a lie and that the battle continues. Pak Army has not yet publicly shared names and photographs of 100 plus Pakistani soldiers who are killed. No names or photos of the 33 Baloch fighters that they have released, they claim to have released. Pak Army's tradition of hiding casualty numbers of soldiers continues. International media needs to investigate instead of blindly following the ISPR narrative. That's what the BLA has come out and said. Now listen into some of the eyewitness accounts and then see who would you want to believe, the BLA or the Pak ISPR.
सर हम लोग को छोड़ दिया, फिर बोला आप लोग जाएं भाई, अपना रास्ता पकड़ निकलते जाएं। आप लोग के साथ दुश्मनी नहीं है। लोग चीख रहे थे, गाड़ी मार रहे थे, बस कुछ लेट गए, हम भी लेट गए पूरी ट्रेन में, सब लोग लेट गए कि अपनी जान बचे। but कुछ फायरिंग हुई, ब्लास्ट हुए।
Maruf Raza, defense analyst, joins us. But you heard the eyewitnesses. These are people who had been released, Maruf, by the BLA, because the BLA in its statement said we have released all civilians, including women and children. The Pak Army went out and told the international media that we have conducted an operation and rescued the civilians. International media has reported this, but now the eyewitness says the BLA let us go. The BLA said we do have no fight with you, we've got no axe to grind with you, you can leave, and they left all of us. So now who's telling the truth here? Maruf, can you hear me? Ji.
Yeah, I can hear you. What do you want me to say
No, in this
about
case,
how the Pakistani
Ji.
military is handling the operation?
Yes, please.
Or how the Pakistan Army is likely to respond?
In both cases, their response so far have they been economical with the truth? Should we actually go by the BLA statement which said that we released these hostages because that's what the eyewitness claimed? They were released, they were asked, they were let go. Or should we believe that the Bolan operation is over as per the Pak Army's claims and that they conducted an operation to rescue the civilians?
You see, it's not going to be easy for the Pakistani military to ensure safe rescue of all the hostages, because the Pakistani Army does not have positive experiences of dealing with inter-services public relations, handling the insurgents and the fighting that is going on between the Balochis and the security forces. The second thing is that the Pakistani military is not in a position to counter every move of the Balochis, who have clearly thought this through. The location tells us, the situation tells us, and therefore it is not easy for the Pakistani military to hammer away at the opposition and look at a situation where they would be in control. So quite clearly, the matter is out of control of the military establishment. They can use massive firepower that is at their call, whether it is helicopters, whether it is gunships, whether it is regular army units going for those insurgents who have captured these civilians and taken them by surprise. What it seems likely is that the military is not in a position to deal with the insurgents in a way they have tried to in the recent past. The insurgents will use every trick in the book to come down strongly against the Pakistan Army. There's a lot of anger against the Pakistan Army in the Balochi areas, and therefore we can't expect any major breakthrough for the Pakistan Army in this situation where the terrain is extremely unforgivable and unforgiving, and
But
they
Maruf,
are not going to be in a position.
So-
Hello?
Yeah, Maruf, can you hear
Yes.
me? So their claim, the Pakistan Army's claim, are you willing to take that on face value that the Bolan operations are over? The Pak Army and
Sorry, repeat your question,
the
please.
Pak Army and the ISPR is actually claiming that the operations are over. They have rescued everybody. Are you willing to believe that?
See, they have to make these claims to somehow keep their reputation intact within Pakistan. But I don't think they'll be able to make much headway in those areas, basically because the Pakistani Army has had a very poor track record of dealing with the Balochis and of dealing with the militants in Balochistan and in the tough rocky terrain. So I don't expect much success for the Pakistan Army against the Balochis, who are well equipped and well entrenched to give the Pakistan Army a very, very tough time.
Are you surprised that the civilian establishment seems clueless? It is only today that Shehbaz Sharif has gone there, and he's also gone to meet some of those who have been rescued as claimed by the Pak Army, released as claimed by the Balochis.
Well, whether Nawaz Sharif goes there or, earlier military commanders go there, the fact of the matter is that Pakistan is in a real tight spot, and these Balochis are likely to get support of the people on the ground and of the Pashtuns in that border area. So there is not going to be much luck for the Pakistan Army in dealing with these Balochis who have been hardened and tough fighters for long.
How do you see this progressing? Because the BLA has only become further emboldened and perhaps far more organized in the last year or 18 months, Maruf. There was Darai Bolan in 2024. There is this Jaffar Express today. And now the TTP has also started attacks. So what do you see happening in Balochistan? Is there going to be a greater threat of balkanization of Pakistan, or perhaps will Pakistan seriously find its occupation of Balochistan under challenge, as claimed by the Balochis?
I don't see the Pakistan Army or the paramilitary forces having much luck in this operation, and those who claim and bombast that they are going to be able to drive the Balochis out of the rail track area, and those who are going to claim some success against the Balochis. But I think the real success will come with talks which are going to be around the two groups that are fighting each other, and a compromise solution is the best way forward. Not in the near future will you see the Pakistan Army having a full-on success ratio in this operation.
How do you see? Do you see this further escalating? How do you see this eventually coming to a conclusion, Maruf? Will Pakistan establishment be forced to release more Balochi, who the Baloch believe have been kept under incarceration?
The Pakistan has had no qualms about using military tactics and force against the Balochis, and therefore I see a tough fight where the Balochis are tough fighters, and I see the Pakistanis being able to draw some success they can pronounce in their favor.
Right.
But overall, I don't see very much happening in favor of Pakistan.
Maruf Raza, quick word on China. China's
There
issued
will
a
be a lot
statement.
of
China has issued a statement. I just have to move on, but quickly. China has issued a statement that we support Pakistan. But beyond that, do you see them interfering?
No, China, of course, because China needs Balochistan under control, because China has the military interests in Balochistan.
Right.
But I don't see much success for the Pakistan Army. They have earlier used very ruthless tactics and techniques against the Balochis.
Right.
In Musharraf's time, they have dealt very heavily with the Balochis, and Musharraf was the chief architect of very strong military tactics. But really, it's end game for the Pakistan Army against the Balochis.
Maruf Raza, thank you for your time and always a pleasure speaking with you.